Okay, so welcome everyone. This is your chapter 1 no, for social entrepreneurship, and we will be discussing the economic foundations of social entrepreneurship. Alright, so let us define what is social entrepreneurship. Now, by definition, it is all about recognizing the social problems and achieving social change by employing entrepreneurial principles, processes, and operations. No, by establishing an enterprise and being an entrepreneur, we will now try to solve social problems. That is the summary of what social entrepreneurship is. It is all about making a research or an economic solution to completely define a particular social problem, and then we will organize, create, and manage a social venture to attain the desired change. And nowadays, no, yung business trends natin around the world, social enterprise is becoming more and more popular. Okay? The change may or may not include a thorough elimination of a social problem kasi there is no definite, concrete solution to solve the problem naman immediately. It may be a lifetime process focusing on improvement of the existing circumstances, such as, let's say we have a social enterprise helping with the education of poor children. No, there would not be a social enterprise that would immediately solve that problem, especially in the Philippines. It would be a continuous problem, but the goal of the social enterprise is to help, and it should be a long process, a lifetime process. Sabi nga nila, it should be for a long term. A social enterprise might not solve the problem immediately, but it could help, on the long term. Yun yung social enterprise. While a general and common business entrepreneurship means taking a lead to open up a new business or diversifying the existing business, okay, even existing businesses nowadays can convert themselves into a social enterprise. Now, the social entrepreneurship mainly focus on creating your social capital. And when we say social capital, this is how we invest to the society, invest to the environment. Alright? It is also considered as your CSR. Diba? CSR is your corporate social responsibility. No? And it is a very important concept in all organizations. Creating social capital without measuring the performance in profit or return. So, when it comes to social entrepreneurship, it is only the second objective, yung profitability. The first objective is helping or creating a solution to a social problem. Okay? Ayan. Along with social problems, social entrepreneurship also focuses on environmental problems. Diba? Yung ating programs of the businesses, yung helping Mother Earth. Ayan. Another is Child Rights Foundation, just like my example earlier, diba? Helping yung poor children to have access to health, to education, to food. Ayan. Some businesses are doing that. What else? Plans for treatment of waste products, yung mga nagre-recycle. And one of the most becoming social enterprises that is becoming popular nowadays is the Women Empowerment Foundations. Diba? Helping yung mothers, yung mga single parent na ating mga women, and all types of women. These are some examples of social enterprises or social ventures. Again, I repeat, the number one focus is helping the society and the environment. Second lang po ang profitability. That is social entrepreneurship. Now, social entrepreneurship is motivation. Okay? The number one driver is the motivation of the social entrepreneur. Now, for social entrepreneurs, eventually becoming for-profit social enterprise is only a side effect. Okay? But the main goal or the main motivation should be helping the society, helping the environment. So if In the case na magkaroon tayo ng profit sa social enterprise, it would only be a side effect, even an unexpected one, dahil some of the social enterprises does not really expect any profit. That's why ang tawag sa kanila is non-for-profit organizations. And some are only interested in working towards building a successful non-profit enterprise. No? Mas gusto nila mas namomotivate sila when they are trying to help others. When they are trying to have an impact with the society and the environment. Yan yung motivation ng isang social enterprise. Another is, since this is an enterprise, social entrepreneurship is also an organization, just like any other businesses. Okay? A social enterprise is an organization, often one that is legally incorporated. So we have to go through the process of registering a business, of creating an organization with the management, with employees. It's the same with other types of business. As in all successful organizations, leaders of social enterprise must engage in carefully planning, organizing, and building the group's identity. No? Because if you are in a social enterprise, once you are building your brand reputation, no, mas marami kang pwedeng tulungan. Okay? Your scope in helping the society would be larger. Okay? And it will be beneficial for your cause. Okay? Again, social entrepreneurship is an organization. Social entrepreneurship is a society. Okay? Social entrepreneurship doesn't operate alone. Okay? Working with others is a must for social entrepreneurship. Working with others is the whole idea, and not just internally within the organization itself. As with other organizations, social enterprise leaders must adapt and take advantage of the organization's external environment. No? A social entrepreneur should take into consideration yung stakeholders. Kasi the cost, no, on how a social entrepreneur operates, it needs people. It needs other organizations. Tulong-tulong yan. Okay? It needs the help of other stakeholders. Not only the beneficiaries, but other people who would like to help din sa social organization na yan. That's why a social entrepreneurship is a society, because it is building a community. Okay? Isa yan sa goals ng social entrepreneurship, to build a community. Okay, so let us define who is a social entrepreneur. Once you put up your businesses in the future, are you willing to become a social entrepreneur? And so let us define what is a social entrepreneur. So here is the anatomy of the social entrepreneur. So here are some of the characteristics na kailangan ng isang social entrepreneur. First is the economic intelligence. Alright? Just like other types of entrepreneur, di ba? This entrepreneur should see things in a different way. Di ba? Thinking out of the box. Yan. Offering goods that will solve an economic problem. Yan. That is economic intelligence. Ano ba ang pwedeng bilhin ng tao? How can I satisfy the needs and wants of my customers na hindi pa nasasatisfy ng aking competitors? That is your economic intelligence. Second is, you must be socially motivated. Diba? Kanina yung na-discuss natin na social entrepreneurship is motivation. The entrepreneur must be motivated. Hindi pwedeng magtayo ng social enterprise na you do not have any motivation to help others, to help the society or to help the environment. Motivation still should be a key component ng pagiging isang social entrepreneur. Another is courage. Okay? Creating a social enterprise could be very challenging, especially na, di ba, na our main objective is to help others. Secondary objective lang ang profit. Okay? So, you need to have that courage to continuously operate. No? And courage and motivation have a relationship with one another. If you are motivated, syempre you will have the courage. Social entrepreneurs will have to make difficult decisions, overcoming apparently insurmountable problems. There would always be problems. But syempre, as a social entrepreneur, you should overcome those problems. And last is quick and alternate thinking. They have the capability to quickly foresee new businesses opportunities and to create new ways of doing things. No? Even if you are not a social entrepreneur, growth is still number one sa ating one of the goals of our organizations, which is better for a social entrepreneur kasi as your business grows, as your social enterprise grows, your scope mas lawak, meaning mas marami kang pwedeng tulungan. Okay? You will have a good brand reputation. More communities are willing to help with your cause. At mas marami kang pwedeng, again, tulungan. Alright. So, a social entrepreneur is somebody who takes up the pressing social problem and meets it with an innovative or path-breaking solution. Since profit-making is only the secondary objective, therefore, they are people who are passionate, motivated, and determined about what they do. It's for the cause. Diba? They possess a very high level of motivation, tulad ng sinasabi ko kanina, and are considered to be visionaries who aim at bringing about a change in the way things are. No? In the Philippines, I really believe that we need more social entrepreneurs. By definition, social entrepreneurs are great people recruiters. Kasi you need to build a community. A community who present their ideas or solution in a way that many people who are either part of the problem or surrounding it recognize a need for change. Again, change, which I believe we really need in the Philippines. And get on board the change bandwagon. More people should be involved with our cause. Should be involved with the change. Thus, mobilizing the masses for bringing about change is a hallmark of a social entrepreneur. And at some point, a social entrepreneur should be also a figurehead, something that the community wants to follow in order to have that change. Okay? Social entrepreneurs operate with an aim of changing the face of society, whether it be on health, sanitation, education. They are present everywhere. And there are a lot of existing social entrepreneurs who are trying to make a change in these areas. In the next topics, we will be having some examples of these social enterprises. They are people who even work on bringing about change in the modern innovations because their impact has been detrimental to human life. They thus work towards improving the system, creating new solutions, and laying down fair practices. In short, social entrepreneurs are innovators, bringing change to the community. So what are the advantages? Mag-social entrepreneurship ba ako, sir? Are there any advantages? So, to the entrepreneur, there are a couple of advantages. Social entrepreneurs find it easier to raise capital. Bakit? Since this is a community, building community, more and more investors would like to help to make your cause into reality. Okay? Kaya nagdo-donate sila. Donations would be very common once you open a social entrepreneur enterprise. Ayan. There are huge incentives and schemes, especially from the government. Kasi government are supporting itong mga non-profit organizations who tries to make an impact to the society. Ayan. I think one of the most one of the best na incentives that the government can give to these non-for-profit organizations is income tax exempt. Ayan. Since the investment industry here is ethical, it is easier to raise capital at below market rates. Another advantage to the entrepreneur is the marketing and promotion kasi it would be very, very easy. Kasi all people naman want to help, di ba, the society. And the social enterprise will become a medium for these people na pwede silang tumulong din to the community. Di ba? Since a social problem is being tackled with a solution, it is easier to attract attention of the people and media. The degree of publicity often depends on the degree of uniqueness of the solution. Also, if you remember yung topics natin in your basic marketing, di ba? One of the marketing communications, di ba? Strategies is your public relation or your corporate social responsibility. It's a form of marketing communication. Okay? And it is the best form of marketing communication kasi you are already promoting your brand, at the same time, you are helping others. Another advantage to the entrepreneur, it is easier to garner support from like-minded individuals since there are social side to the enterprise. Okay? I repeat, we are already building a community, okay, to help the society. It is also easier to get people on board at lower salaries when compared to other industries. Kasi when it comes to social enterprises, there would be no qualification if you want to help. Now, if you want to help, you can donate your resources. Wala naman siyang minimum amount. You can donate whatever you can. No? You can even donate your time. Diba? Your time, your profession to help with the cause. How about the advantages to the environment, society, and people? Services in whichever section may be offered are customized better to suit the needs of the individual or the problem. If you would specify your cause to a specific group of people, mas maganda yun kasi you can now focus your efforts based on their needs. This is also designed in harmony with all other systems like the environment, society, or the people. For example, if my social enterprise, ang goal ko is to help children when it comes to their education in Baguio and La Trinidad, diba, yung aking target beneficiaries would be focused. So, all my resources, all my efforts would be concentrated to this group of people, yung mga bata na needs education. Okay? Social enterprise usually have also a market segmentation when it comes to the beneficiaries. Siyempre, it's impossible naman for a social enterprise to help everybody. They should focus on a specific group of people. And by doing that, mas maganda yung mabibigay natin na tulong dun sa specific na group of people na yan. Cost effectiveness is another advantage of social enterprise. Aside from reducing yung tax natin, the solution offered by these organizations in the form of either products or services are reasonable than compared to the same services provided by a profit-making organization. Okay? And so, we will be moving on with the theories related to social entrepreneurship. Ayan. One of the best theories related to social entrepreneurship is the invisible hand theory. Okay? The invisible hand theory was developed by a Scottish thinker or a philosopher named Adam Smith. Ayan. He introduced the concept in several of his books, but it found this economic interpretation in his book na An Inquiry into the Nature and Cause of Wealth and Nations, which was published hundreds of years ago, 1776. Yet, this theory still be applicable even today. The term found use in an economic sense during the 1900s. So, what is the invisible hand theory? Now, this is a metaphor for the unseen forces that moves the free market economy. And when we say unseen forces, it is not written. There is no laws controlling these forces. Through individual self-interest and freedom of production, as well as consumption, the best interests of society as a whole are fulfilled. The constant interplay of individual pressures on market supply and demand causes the natural movement of prices and the flow of trade. Okay? Now, the invisible hand metaphor distills two critical ideas. First is the voluntary trades, hindi pinipilit, in a free market. They produce unintentional and widespread benefits. Now, the second idea is these benefits are greater than those of a regulated and planned economy. So, to give you a picture kung ano nga ba yung invisible hand, there are 4 steps. No? The goal is the society will benefit when people act in self-interest. Ganito yan. Step 1, on the side of the entrepreneurs, the producers, people will try to make money. Okay? So, they will develop goods and services to satisfy the needs of the people. Step 2, doon naman tayo sa consumer side, people will buy things that will satisfy their needs and wants. Okay? Alright. Ito yung kagandahan din Siyempre, on the consumer side, they will choose the product or service that can satisfy their need. So, pipiliin nila yan. Step 1 naman, they will produce the goods na kailangan ng tao. Diba? That's why businesses are trying to improve on their products. Diba? Especially with competition na there are a lot of businesses offering the same product that can satisfy the same need. They will try to offer the better product. Diba? Better products, sino magbe-benefit? Of course, the consumers. Yan, nakita nyo na yung relationship na step 1 and step 2. Pagdating na sa step 3, good businesses, diba? Those businesses who offer the better product will do well. Sila ang kikita. While yung mga bad businesses naman na nanloloko ng tao, they are not honest with their products, usually, they will fail. Kasi, hindi nabibili yung tao dyan. They will try to avoid these bad businesses. Good businesses will prevail. Okay? And step 4, diba? The producers, the businesses are happy. The consumers are also happy. More money is made, everyone is better off. Diba? If you see yung step 1 to 4 natin, this is now the continuous improvement of goods and services satisfying the needs and wants of the market. Okay? Yan ang invisible hand. And if you notice, there are no laws and regulations, no? And even books saying na ito ang dapat ang gawin. It happens freely in the market. Kaya tinawag siya na invisible hand. Kasi it really happens in the market. Ayan. Alright, another theory natin is the theory of moral sentiments. Wait lang po. Okay, let me just share this one. The theory of moral sentiments. So, it is also known as the second invisible hand, which refers to the individual's sense of sympathy towards others. In this theory, Adam Smith acknowledges how human beings' sense of attachment and desire to help others and can influence economic behavior. No? And it would be very good dun sa ating invisible hand. Kasi going back here, ito yung process natin kanina na businesses are trying to offer better goods and services to satisfy the needs and wants of the community. Kung papasukin natin yan ng sympathy towards others, there is now a social involvement, a social cause on the part of the producers. Okay? Now they are trying to offer products that not only satisfy the needs of the specific customer, but it would also be good, better for the society and the environment as a whole. Okay, kaya siya tinawag na second invisible hand. Now, there are two main drivers dito sa theory of moral sentiments. The self-interest, in which individuals derive utility from improving one's welfare. Okay? According to the words of Adam Smith, the strong human drive to better one's own situation. Okay? And number 2 is the interest to others, in which individuals derive utility from improving the welfare of the members of the society. Na in short, tutulungan mo yung sarili mo at tutulungan mo yung iba. Now, this is now the theory of moral sentiments. Now, which is, ang ganda, no? When it comes to social entrepreneurship, I really hope that all entrepreneurs na may ganito. Yeah. How about welfare economics? Another concept. Now, welfare economics is the study of how the allocation of resources and goods affect social welfare. That's why in the Philippines, especially in the Philippines, no, we need to have proper allocation of goods, of services, and even wealth, diba? To achieve itong welfare economics. This relates directly to the study of economic efficiency and income distribution, as well how they affect the overall well-being of people in the economy. Diba? It's all about proper distribution. In practical application, welfare economists seeks to provide tools to guide public policy to achieve beneficial and social and economic outcomes for all of the society. One bad thing about welfare economics is it's just a concept. It's possible to achieve, but it's hard to achieve. Diba? Tulad na sinabi ko kanina, proper distribution of goods, proper distribution of income. It is possible, pero it's hard to do. However, welfare economics is a subjective study. Okay? It depends heavily on the chosen assumptions regarding how welfare can be defined, measured, and compared for individuals and society as a whole. Okay? So we need to have the participation of everyone in order to have this welfare economics, no? Which again, if I may say, in the Philippines, it is very hard to do, no? When the economy is on the state of Pareto efficiency, the social welfare is maximized. Ito yung once we achieve yung proper distribution of goods and income, we will have the Pareto efficiency. Social welfare is maximized in the sense that no resources can be reallocated to make one individual's better off without making at least one individual worse off. Okay? And when we achieve Pareto efficiency, this is one way we can eliminate poverty, no? But if you imagine, no, after how many decades poverty still exists in the Philippines, that's why this concept is very hard to do, no? One goal of economic policy could be to try to move the economy towards to a Pareto efficient state. But for today, all we can do is to hope na we can achieve Pareto efficiency. Using the example pa lang ng sugar, di ba? Lagi natin nakikita yung sugar sa news. Di ba? The price is going up because there is a lack of supply. Pero once nung there was a news nung nakaraan lang that the government tried to investigate the supply of sugar, at they found out that there are a lot of businesswomen na nag-hoard ng sugar, di ba? If we have these people na may ganitong mentality, we can never achieve Pareto efficiency, di ba? If we have entrepreneurs who want to take advantage, di ba, of others, we can never achieve yung Pareto efficiency. That's why sabi ko kanina, yung welfare economics, everyone should be involved. Everyone should participate, no? Now, social enterprise is considered as the third sector in the Philippines. Okay? So, we have two main sectors, di ba? Yung private sector and the public sector. And the third sector would be your social enterprises. Okay? Lately, sustainability has become an ever-present discussion in several different contexts. Most companies and governments seek to address the issue of sustainability through CSR programs, tax credits, NGOs, other support and similar measures. No? more and more support are being given to the social enterprises kasi they could really help the society. Traditionally, organizations are placed in one of the three sectors: the public sector, which is run by the government; the private sector, which is owned by privately owned enterprises, big corporations; and the third sector is your social and non-for-profit organizations. Social enterprises are business hybrid organizations arising from the field of social entrepreneurship dahil they are considered to be private, di ba, organizations, but again, their number one goal is to help the society, and their second objective is only profitability is only their second objective. Now, social entrepreneurs have an inherent social purpose, usually operating with a focus on societal issue while running a commercial venture. Okay? They still work as a business, such as compared to private sectors. So, operations, production, marketing, finance is the same. Ang difference lang, I repeat, the goal is to help the society. And that's it. That's our economic foundations of social entrepreneurship. I have included my sources here. So if you are interested, here are the textbooks and online references that I have used. Feel free to read these sources if you want to know more about the economic foundations of social entrepreneurship. All right. So again, to confirm your attendance, I request everyone to please comment your name and section on the comment section of this video. And I will see you on our next lecture. So thank you for watching, and goodbye and stay safe.